Hey everyone, welcome to SLP's Wine and Cheese. I'm Deb.
And I'm Maria.
And here's our podcast.
For the Realistic SLP. Welcome!
Oh, look, we did that together.
We're awesome. Cheers!
Cheers to that.
That's right.
Because neurons that fire together, wire together.
I like that. Like our life is speech, and we're okay with that. Work smarter, not harder.
Right, yes.
The first step is just how to communicate.
They say, drink it, not sink it.
Definitely drink it. Then I'll blow the bubbles, and ooh, there's the reinforcement right there.
You need to know that your ego is not your amigo.
Yes. That's really genius. We need to cheers to that.
Cheers.
Cheers. What happened? But I got nervous. I think it's recording though.
Recording now.
Yes.
I don't know.
We're having technical difficulties today,
Yeah.
but I feel like we finally got it.
I guess, and then we're gonna listen to this, like, we're not stopping, we're going, and this is going up, so, like, if we sound like robots or chipmunks, or, like, that's it, that's what God intended, that's what we're gonna go with.
Yep.
Who cares?
Because as Deb said,
If it's 30 seconds, then you're welcome.
you're welcome for your short commute. This is your 30-second podcast.
No, I think it'll be longer this time, but every time we recorded it, we tried this, like, 4 times already, it stopped after about a minute, so.
Yeah, so it is what it is right now.
That's it.
But this reminds me of our first episode where we couldn't have enough mic, right? We only had one mic, and you were like, complete is better than perfect.
That's right.
And that's like one of my favorite lines. I'm like, this is done. It's complete.
Complete. Complete's very good.
All right. So let's get into our first segment, our wine and cheese.
All right. Wine.
Yay, wine.
That's good that we had incorporated wine into this podcast because, like, when things get frustrating, we just pour some more.
Yeah, I feel like we are
some more.
down to the more than half of the bottle, just so you can visualize our frustration.
Mm-hmm.
But that's all right. We're drinking white wine. We are switching it up from the red.
Yes.
And it's a wine, of course. Cape Original, a Chenin Blanc. Or I don't know if that's right.
Blanc?
Yeah, there's no N in there.
Yeah, but
Oh, there
Blanc.
is. Yeah, Chenin Blanc. There is an N.
Oh, I
Never
just
mind.
spelled it. I just left
Yeah.
this. And, sorry.
all right.
Just want to sabotage you.
Yeah, no, I got it. And it's from South Africa, and it's very nice, and it's a affordable price. I looked up the price as well.
How much did you say?
It said $6.99
Oh,
online.
I paid 10.
Oh man, girl, you got ripped off.
I did.
Sorry.
Brooklyn.
Well, that's one of my pet peeves, by the way, getting ripped off. Side note. Anyway, so we paired it with a brie cheese, which I felt like tasted all right. My favorite pairing was the fake Girl Scout cookie, but a real Keebler cookie.
Right. I got these Keebler cookies because they were on sale.
Yep, that's good.
Which probably still was overpriced even at the sale price. But it's like a imitation Samoa.
Right.
You know, you can't imitate the Samoa. It's
or
a one of a kind
Girl
thing.
Scout cookies in general, right? There's
They're
a
very
reason
good.
why they sell them once a year, you know?
Yeah, they have us hooked,
Yes.
and then they take them away.
Right.
Yeah.
But I will say, when you had this Samoa cookie, or what I thought was a Samoa cookie, I got so excited. I was like, what? She has Girl Scout cookies?
Yeah.
So, but
I know people.
Yeah, I feel like don't tell people they're fake, quote-unquote, Girl Scout cookies.
Okay, yeah.
Just be like, here, have a cookie, and they're going to be so excited.
Are you suggesting I mislead people?
Yes,
Oh.
I am.
All right, fine.
You know?
Well, I am going to. So, school started for me. I've been back for quite some time, and I'm going to use the cookies as a bribery technique.
Good. All right.
Yes.
So, not bringing this to school.
No.
Do we drink this one, or do we sink it?
We drank it.
Yeah, we drink
Drink
this
the
one.
wine.
This is a good one.
Mm-hmm.
The wine has to be, like, pretty terrible.
Right.
For us.
Only one time did we say.
I know.
I think
sink it.
twice I said sink it,
I would say drink this one. It's good. And I
Yes,
like
I
it
like
with
this
this Samoa cookie. I'm going to have another Samoa cookie. That's
yeah,
it.
I
I'm going
also
for it.
had a friend who just recently went to South Africa, and she loved it.
What?
And she
That's
went
crazy.
to vineyards where they have duck walks like 3 times a day. And the ducks, they march. There's lots of ducks. And they are there to eat the bugs.
Wow.
Yes.
Cool.
Yes, I was like, I'd be more interested in the ducks than the wine.
Right.
Not too much will deter me from wine, but marching ducks, that'll do it.
I feel like I'm gonna just stick with the wine.
Oh,
In that
you're
case.
not intrigued by marching ducks?
No. Not when
Oh.
there's wine like being created in front of me.
But I'd probably be like, ducky, ducky, duck, I want to touch you.
Right.
And I'd drop my wine.
I'll drink it for you.
Okay.
Okay. So we'll go into our topic of today.
Did you see Little Rascals?
Yes, of course.
When Buckwheat's like, that duck has a buck.
I don't remember that part.
Because the bad kids, they wanted to trick those little kids, so they tied $1 to a duck, and then they knew that the kids would leave the car unattended and chase the duck that had $1.
I feel. Oh, I remember that now.
And then
Yeah.
they're like,
You got me
I
there.
got $1.
I got $1. Yep, I got that.
$1.
Deborah's like, I got a duck. I got a duck.
And they also had a whole jar of pickles.
Oh.
Yes, that was a good movie.
Which I recently started eating, by the way.
Oh,
Yes.
interesting.
Yeah, I like-
Muy interesante.
Sí, señorita.
What did you do?
Well,
You don't like pickles.
I know I don't, but I was reading this awesome book, The Beauty of Dirty Skin, and she was Dr. Whitney Bowe, or Bowie, whatever. She was talking about how good fermented foods are for you, and pickles are fermented, right? They're just cucumbers.
Oh.
I thought they were just cucumbers soaked in evil, but technically,
No.
technically, there's a whole bunch of bacteria in there that's really good for your gut and therefore your skin.
Well, that makes sense because pickles are a very big part of my diet.
Oh, and you have good skin.
Yes, and people do compliment my skin.
Yeah.
I thought it was the Rodenfields, but it's been the pickles all along. I suppose.
It's actually bacteria, and like Greek yogurt, kefir, any fermented food, probiotic. So we could have a whole like other side note
On the
thing about
Patreon.
that. Yes.
Yeah.
Because we're doing that.
We're going to start a Patreon. We'll talk about that at the halfway point. But yeah, so our iTunes episodes are going to remain primarily speech pathology oriented, but we will branch off from that topic on the Patreon once
Yes.
that gets rolling.
Yes, we'll get it rolling.
Yes.
So we also made our life goals for ourselves, so like we could quickly check in on our goals.
So, so far for our goals, getting the Asha booth, we are doing that.
Check.
You know how like I'm never nervous about anything?
Yeah, Deb was nervous this
I'm
week,
still nervous.
and I'm
I've
like,
been
I don't even
nervous.
know what's happening right now.
I don't know. Like I'm so nervous.
I was like so not nervous, and I was like, should I be nervous? I'm not.
Oh, I'm nervous about every single thing about it, but we'll see. I mean, please come see us. We are going to be at a member table 872. We are not going to have like a whole giant booth, so I guess we can't have the selfie booth that I wanted.
But you know what? Everyone has a phone, and we're just gonna take our own selfies.
I guess,
You know
but
what
that
I mean?
wasn't my vision, Maria.
But
that's not what I wanted. That's not who I was.
well, this is a good intro for soon scheduling. This is not what I wanted.
This is not
you know,
it.
when I got into this field to schedule this Tetris game, but
Yeah.
it is what it is. But we're
Yeah.
gonna make it work.
Yes.
I'll get us some cute like selfie things. People love those, right?
Right.
You can make your own crafts.
Yeah.
You know, let's
we
use
have our tiny little table, so I guess we're only gonna have room for. We're gonna record. We're gonna bring the iPad, I guess, to record our episodes.
Yes. Yeah.
We're gonna do 53-minute episodes with people, so you have to sign up on our list.
We'll definitely do that.
And then we can do that, but I don't know about the selfie booth. We'll figure that out. But we'll have the iPad.
we
so
have
we'll see.
this thing.
We have this.
We got tools, girl. We just gotta use them.
We'll figure it out.
We
We'll
got
figure it out. It's
No
gonna be
worries.
good. We're gonna have fashion T-shirts. So
Yes.
yeah. So in terms of the goal of the Asha booth, it is happening.
Yep.
It is happening. We paid. We filled out 2 contracts. We've had multiple emails. We are.
We're doing it. We're doing
It's
it.
happening.
My goal was only to get some free wine, and then my aunt gave me some free wine,
Right,
so I
yeah.
feel like check. But I do want to look into some wine companies. Again, if anybody knows any wine companies,
Yeah.
slide into our DM. Let us
Yeah.
know.
If you want to sponsor us.
Oh yeah, that's good too.
Yeah.
But all right, so should we go into our
Yeah. So this episode
topic?
is going to be about scheduling.
Yes.
Scheduling.
Let's be excited when we talk about it.
Yeah.
Ready?
I mean,
Drum roll.
Woo!
The
And
topic is.
scheduling.
Yup.
And I know it sounds like such a drag, but actually scheduling can be pretty grounding in that once you, because at first, while you haven't done it, while it is still like a concept or a task that you have to achieve, it's still daunting at that point and it's not concrete. But once you start hammering out that schedule and you start writing it down on a variety of platforms, for which I will describe, you start to feel more in control of your life. So instead of pushing that troublesome task away, you're embracing it and you're gaining control over it, and then it can make you feel way more grounded.
I thought that was excellent.
Thanks.
That was, I feel like we need to cheers to that.
I feel like that was excellent.
That was excellent. Let's cheers to that.
Yes.
That's so true. And you might want to put off scheduling and try to do every other thing instead of scheduling, which sometimes it's a good opportunity to be like, let me clean out this filing cabinet.
Right, because nothing else was going to motivate you to do it other than to avoid scheduling. So yes, use that to your advantage.
Or I'm just like, we got, kids aren't in yet. And now's my time to kind of go through everything and throw out things. So I feel like scheduling that goes along with this whole beginning of your caseload is another good part of it. Is like a brand new freshness to it.
Right.
So getting rid of certain materials, and if you're in a different setting or you have new clients coming in, and it's time for you to get rid of some materials you won't be using for a year. Do not hoard them. Like, but next year,
get rid
of them
If you didn't use them last year, you're not using them this year. Trash. Or give it away.
Yeah, give it away.
Give it to some brand new speech therapist who's desperate for tons of materials because they just spent all their money on grad school and they have nothing.
Exactly.
So they will be so happy.
Yes.
Just give that away. It'll make you feel better too.
Exactly.
So anyway, making I like to break down the scheduling because now I guess I do pretty much schedule my whole life at this point, just because being a speech pathologist has tremendously had an impact on my life in terms of scheduling. So so I want to talk about making your weekly schedule, which entails your students' days, times, and their groups. Then also making your daily schedule, which could be like, when are you going to see the kids, when are you going to do your session notes, when are you going to do the reports, when are you going to do the calls. So that's what varies like week to week.
Right.
So your initial schedule is like your overall schedule, like all the kids' names, all the kids' locations, all the kids' days and times. The second one is making your daily schedule, which is going to change weekly depending upon what's happening. Is it Spirit Week, or is there an assembly, or is there a school trip, or is there testing, or do you have an IUP meeting, or do you have a phone call, or are you a supervisor and you have to like go into work late that day because you have to observe your CF. And then your next schedule is going to be like making your session schedule. So like internally within your day, how are you going to block out your sessions schedule so that you are ready for that session and you don't feel like, another kid. You're like, next one.
That's a good one.
So we have an overall schedule, we have a weekly schedule, we have an internal session schedule, and then we just have scheduling your life, vacations, errands, and celebrations.
Doctor's appointments. Had one today and took over my whole life, but I got it done. So
I'd like to hear more about what they did there.
Oh, okay. Are we talking about that now? Or?
Well, let's wait for
let's wait.
And then I also want to talk about how, like, there are a variety of ways to keep track of your schedule, such as paper, Google Docs, Google Calendars, other digital apps, or websites such as SLP Toolkit, or You Can Book Me, or whatever else it is that you might use digitally.
I use Excel.
You use Excel? Mm-hmm. Okay, so first let's talk about making your weekly schedule in terms of your students' days, times, and groups. And can you go through like some do's and don'ts when you're finding your first?
All right, I will do some do's and don'ts. So some do. I like to do this. I like to group. I like to just kind of put the kids on based off their mandate. So it's just like simple math there. Like, okay,
Right,
this
you
kid,
find all the kids that have to be individual.
Yep.
And you put them first, or you find all the ones that are groups and you start grouping them first.
I do it by kid. So let's say I do it by class. So you take the class. Let's say this is for a school setting now. So let's say I have this class. There's 10 kids in this class. We go down the line with those kids. And if they're 5 times a week, let's say, I like to do a Monday, Wednesday, Friday. So they skip. If they're twice a week,
Wait,
Tuesday,
what?
Thursday.
If they're how many times a week?
5 times a week or 4.
So you'll see them twice in a day?
Oh no, like 5 times a week obviously would be every day. Excuse
Right,
me.
okay.
I'm sorry. I meant to say 3 times a week, Monday, Wednesday, Friday.
Right.
And then like twice a week could do like a Tuesday, Thursday type of schedule.
So you prefer to not have speech therapy 2 days in a row?
Yes.
Yeah, I prefer.
Alternated.
My number one preference is to avoid Monday, Friday kids.
Oh, okay.
Because I feel like of all the days we have off, it's mostly a Monday or a Friday. So like I never schedule anyone to have speech both Monday and Friday. So that's my don't. So you like to have a day in between. And
Yeah.
I don't feel like I ever have that possible. Like that never works for me. But
have a
I
day in
always
between.
avoid Monday, Friday. If they're 2 sessions a week, then I don't do that.
Oh, okay, yeah. That would be if they're 3 times a week. 2 times
Yes.
a week I do like usually a Tuesday,
Tuesday,
Thursday,
Thursday.
or middle of the week, whatever.
Well,
I try my best.
I also so at my school currently I have 50 kids on my caseload, so I have
Yes.
to schedule 50 kids.
Right, that's a lot.
It's a lot.
That's quite a lot.
So I don't. Yeah, everyone's got to get smushed in there.
Right, yeah, I don't have that many, so
I
that's
also have
why.
bigger groups though.
Right, yeah.
I don't have any groups bigger than 3.
Oh, okay, but you have probably a lot of
groups.
groups. I hear you.
Yeah.
I have a lot of individuals with some groups, of course. So, all right, so a don't. So should we do a don't?
Yeah, so a don't is
Don't panic. Don't panic
yes,
when you
definitely
schedule.
don't panic.
That's a good
and
one.
Don't make anybody Monday, Friday.
Okay, yes.
Unless you have to, then you have to.
Yeah, sometimes you have to.
Yeah.
What is another don't? I feel like I want to give another don't.
Don't
got
take the kids the same time each day, just because like you don't want them to miss gym every time they have
Right,
gym.
yeah,
You don't
that's a
want
good
them
one.
to miss that same class repeatedly. So like don't think like it might be easy to be like, okay, I'm gonna take James from 9 o'clock to 9:30 every day, but that's like not beneficial to James because now he's gonna miss whatever's happening every day at 9 o'clock to 9:30.
Right, yeah, switch them up.
Unless it's snack, then fine. You can bring the snack with you or
Right,
something.
good point.
Yeah.
Snack's a good time to whatever. Or if you're doing push-ins,
If you're
You know,
doing push-in, then it
sometimes it
doesn't
works.
matter. Then you should remain consistent. So I should have specified.
yeah, well, all right. So
Hold on.
there's some things are do's and don'ts, and sometimes they could be both, I guess.
Right, yes,
right?
yes.
That's scheduling for you.
If you
There's
are
always
doing
a loophole.
push-in, right, exactly. If
That's
you are
due.
doing push-in, you should do the same over and over again because it's like, let's not guess here. Like, what's the drama? We can't. I had a high school student who had 4 times 40, and I would always see her in her English class, like her English comp class, because I'm not going to go into a class randomly throughout the day and not know what they're working on.
Right.
But if I always go into this class, I know what essay they're
Exactly.
working on, I know what the teacher told them to
Right.
do, I know how far along they are in comparison to everyone else, I know what the topic is and the requirement, and I already have a rapport with that teacher because I see her 4
Right,
times
you know
a
what's
week.
going on.
Yeah, so instead of being like, oh, well, I'm gonna like spread her throughout the day, like a little physics, a little history, I said, no, I just did English comp the whole time.
And that's good because you picked English, so that's like a good time. I feel like to. I mean,
written-
any time's a good time, I guess, to incorporate speech, but.
Right, because
You're
we
like,
do need
all right.
to use communication in all of our subjects.
Exactly.
Yes.
But all right, so that would be a do in that case. Sometimes it's good to keep the same time.
Yeah, if you're pushing in, if you're pushing in, you should stay consistent.
Yeah.
I believe that's how I feel. And if you are pulling out, then you should not be consistent, just because you don't want that child to consistently miss out on whatever instruction is happening at that time.
Good
But
point.
then you do want to stay consistent with your picking up schedule because these kids will be like Tuesday at 2
Right.
o'clock, You did not come to get me.
Yes, you have me.
Yeah, you have me.
Or how about those kids like, you have me today? You have me today? And it's like, nope. Those are the kids you're like, it's Tuesday, Thursday, every 10 to 10:30, okay?
Yeah.
You give them a time and date that rhymes so they'll remember that.
Oh, that's good. That's good.
That's my tip.
Oh, good. Well, now you have to come up with a new one.
Oh, no,
it's
that's
not tips and tricks.
No, I got a tip. That's my do. That's my do.
That's your do.
That's my do. Do that.
Yeah, also, so what I think is also best, so when you make this overall schedule that you made, so you're making sure you're like strategic with the times that you're choosing, you're not pulling them from any type of instruction that they have to have, such as like, there's certain times you're not allowed to pull.
Right.
I used to be gym, but now you can.
Oh, okay.
Well, at least I can. In my school, it's called sports.
Oh, okay.
I don't know. Anywho, so make sure you're pulling them during times you're allowed to pull them, and then also, so you're going to have this overall schedule that you're going to do your best to adhere to, which is also always going to change. But it's still your framework that you need to hold sacred, because if you deviate from that, then yourself will be lost. Like, let's say you weren't great with documenting one week. If you continuously deviate from your schedule, you're not leaving yourself any clues on, like, how to get back on track.
Right, that's a very good point.
So this schedule you should really hold sacred and make sure that you adhere to it. So when I do that, I like to write it out in, like, I just use a Google Doc and a table.
Oh, okay.
And I'll do like Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and then up across the top and down the left side, I'll say session 1, session 2, session 3, session 4, session 5, session 6, session 7, session 8. It's usually like 8 sessions. And then so Monday, session 1, I'm going to write whatever time that is. And most of mine this year start at 9 o'clock. Luckily, last year they all started at 8. So I'm going to say, like, a Monday, session 1 is 9 o'clock to 9:30. Monday, session 2 is 9:32 to 10:02. Yeah.
Okay.
So,
that's how mine is, but I start earlier.
Yeah. Well, I did other years. I don't know why they put me later, but I'm fine with that.
All right.
That's good with me. So
I do that on Excel. So
you
whatever.
do that on Excel,
Yeah, just
and I
in
just
Excel.
you like Excel. You introduced that to
Oh, I did?
we have our own Excel document now for the podcast.
Oh, yes, I do like Excel.
Can I have more wine?
Yeah, of course.
So I put that in a document, like Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday,
spilled the
Thursday,
wine,
Friday.
sorry.
Again, my goodness.
No, I'm sorry.
And then I say session 1 through 8, and then under the day of the week, I put the time just because, like, the times will vary day to day, so I don't like to put that on the, what is that, the y-axis? Whatever that side is.
The left side?
Yeah, the left side. Okay, so then that's what I do for that. Then I like to have a separate document that just has the kid's name, their mandate, their schedule, and who is in their group.
Oh, see, I have that all in the same document on Excel.
Well, it could be on the same document, but I like things printed and physical. So it's like one table says this and the next table says this. So it can be in the same document. I just physically like to hold it, but if you have it in the same document, that's fine.
Yeah.
So I like to have this because I don't want to scan my whole schedule when someone's like, when does Tommy have speech? I want to look for Tommy's name, and I want it to say Tuesday from 10 to 10:30 and Thursday from 9:15 to 9:45. And then I want to, so let's say he's got an individual and a group. I'm going to have an I next to which one is the individual session, and I'm going to have a G next to the group one.
I have that
and
too.
then I'm going to list his group members.
I hear you.
This way I always have that information on hand. And once again, like, doing all of this stuff makes you feel grounded and secure for the entire school year.
Yeah, that's true.
So I write my schedule in multiple places. So I will have the doc, and then I also, so then when I print that on my wall, it's going to say Monday, 9 o'clock to 9:30, Maria. 9:30 to 10 o'clock Deborah, 10 o'clock
Right.
to 10:30 Michael, 10:30 to 11 Frankie. So I see that on my wall.
Right.
So I'm never like, who's next?
Oh yeah, I have mine printed out on a clipboard, on a wall,
Yes.
on my door, wherever it needs
yeah,
to
it's
be.
everywhere.
And of course, obviously saved on the computer.
And saved on the
And
computer.
definitely update your schedule. Like,
Right.
don't forget to Command S, like Control S, whatever. Save it as
Right.
you.
Yeah.
As I've messed that one up before.
I really try to like almost never change my schedule. Like unless
Yeah.
something is serious, I'm like, why do you want me to change? Like I really try not to change it.
Well, another do is to go over your schedule with other related service.
Yes.
So I don't know if like any of your
Yeah.
kids get services, because mine do. So you're gonna have to like sit down with everyone else and go through it. All right, this and that's.
So
could be
I
fun.
have
I think it's fun.
an Excel document that's shared with the only other person who I could have a provider overlap with is the occupational therapist. And so it says like provider schedule, and counseling. So it says speech, OT counseling. So I see like it'll say Tuesday and that's by the day of the week. So I see who I have that day and I see who everyone else has and at what time.
So you don't actually meet in person to do it.
No, it's already
Oh.
like written there and there for us. So like,
Okay.
and then so it is annoying when like I have Jaden at 10 o'clock and then the OT has Jaden at 10:30 because that's like an hour now. He's not going back to class.
Right. Yeah.
So I do try to avoid that.
Me too. We
and
just
then
do it
any
face to.
overlap is annoying.
Yeah. Well, we do those face to face. So.
Right.
it's
I've had a high
like-
turnover rate in each of the schools that I've worked in. Like, I haven't had consistent providers, so it's not
Oh.
like I know the person that well.
Right, that's different for
so,
me.
So then after, so I have this like document that is my concrete schedule, right? And it's on the wall, it's on the computer,
Right.
it's on a clipboard.
Yep.
Then I have my like agenda book, just like I
Okay.
like in high school. Is
Yeah.
what I use that for my homework.
Right.
And then I write down like, so what are my responsibilities this week? So and so
Right.
has a report due on Wednesday. So and so has a phone meeting on Friday. So I write that in.
Same here.
And then-
just a calendar. I just use a regular calendar.
Yeah.
But it depends, you know.
Yeah.
Everyone's just whatever's visually more understandable.
in the book
understand.
with the calendar that has just the
Yeah.
boxes, then I'll write those responsibilities. And then on the days, because when you keep flipping and then it's the days with the lines,
Right.
then I'll put that responsibility
In
and then
there,
I'll
too.
list all the kids that I did see in the time.
Oh, you write it in there, too.
Yeah, because so beforehand I always have this concrete schedule of what I'm supposed to follow, and then my agenda book says what actually happens.
I hear you. I just take notes on my laptop. Like, that's my new thing for this year.
That's good.
But
Well,
that's what I'm
now
trying
I
to do.
have SLP Toolkit, so that's what I have been
Yes,
doing.
that'll be good.
But yeah, so I write about the kids on the SLP Toolkit, but I haven't added any like responsibilities to
I
that.
see.
So that's all handwritten
Same here.
at this point.
Same here.
And then I have like my session schedule where within each session I schedule out each of the activities that we're going to do while we are in session. So maybe they're going to answer a question, read a story, do a worksheet, and then do a craft.
So it's like your lesson planning.
Yes, but that's like the internal session schedule. Do you have a
Right.
consistent schedule within the session?
Yeah, I feel like I handwrite it, but this year I'm trying to move on to all on the laptop.
On your
so
laptop?
I'm not there just yet.
But
'cause-
do you do the same thing almost every time? Like I do, it's you come in, you get your folder, you answer a question, you're going to take out your packet, we're going to do the
Yeah,
next
pretty
page,
much.
we're going to read something, and then we're
Yeah.
going to do a craft.
Yeah, because I'm following their goals or whatever the teacher's doing, so it's got to be like consistent.
Right.
Yeah, so-
yeah. So I have a routine within my session, so it's always predictable for myself and the
Right.
and
Yeah.
the kids.
Of course. We talked about that.
Yeah, so
that's
they
why
know
we
what
have
to
like all the
expect.
timers and the bell. You know, it's just like keep it consistent so they know
Yes.
what's happening, and you know what's happening. But,
Right.
yeah. So that's. I guess you schedule that in the beginning, and then throughout the year, you're like, all right, I know what's happening. You might not have to keep writing it all the time.
Next.
Yeah.
Yes.
Exactly.
And then we'll get more into that in the second half of our episode. And I just feel like maybe, I don't know if you feel this way, but thinking this way has impacted how I schedule everything in my whole life.
I mean, I was always this way, but maybe like this career is maybe even more.
I feel like I never was this way.
Or it was just my natural progression of getting older. I don't know. But I was always a scheduler.
Oh, you were? I wasn't. Now I'm like all like, oh, so I have to do something at 5, so I'll leave at this time. Before that, I'll have an hour. Like, I can get everywhere on time. I'm only late because, like, I'm tired or I have to walk dogs.
Right.
But I do have, like, such a great concept of how long it will take me to do everything and how long it'll take me to get there.
Pretty much. And I feel like Google has helped me with that.
Oh, yeah.
Google Maps.
Oh.
At least today with what I scheduled.
Right, yeah.
You could add what time you want to arrive, and it just like tells you exactly when to leave and set a reminder.
Oh,
and I'm like, this is great.
So that's a great thing to add to your schedule so that you're always prepared.
Up, it's that time again.
There's our midpoint.
We didn't hear the timer that loud because I had the volume down. But anyway, we're at the halfway point, in case you didn't hear that. So let's go over some stuff. So hopefully you're following us on Instagram. Our handle is SLP's Wine and Cheese Pod. There's an underscore between each word. You could follow myself at Maria _Kotsonis, KOTSONIS SLP, or Deb.
I'm just at Deborah Brooks CCC SLP, and my name is DEBORAH.
That's
Deborah.
Right. And we had a giveaway. It was like 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, we did a whole like podcast loop giveaway.
Yes, congrats to our winner. Yay. So
good
see,
for her.
there are benefits to following us on Instagram. Look at that. Look at that.
But you can also follow us. Let us know what it is that you feel like hearing us talk about, or any questions that you want asked. I will have to say that so many people ask about grad school.
Yes, they do.
And comps and the praxis, and like, I don't know if you can tell, but I am not.
In case you couldn't tell by her tone of voice in her videos, she'll tell you right now.
I'm just really not interested in answering those questions. Oh, Michael's here.
Mike, come say hi.
Come say hi.
Come in.
Oh, you brought ice cream?
Aw. Guys,
That's a great guy.
Come on in, Mike.
We couldn't get anything
Mike,
to work,
did you break the mouse? The computer mouse, not an actual mouse.
No.
Oh, okay, because now we're recording on this iPad, so.
And it's coming out pretty good, I think. So
Mike, you look stressed out. You okay? Have some wine.
I look stressed out?
Yeah, you look a little stressed out. Are you okay?
Yeah, you okay?
Were you scheduling things? I'm great.
What is
I'm
this?
gonna get. Oh, I don't know, cause I'm just chilling. I had some wine and some fake Girl Scout cookies.
Nice. Oh, you're fake?
Yeah, see? Mike didn't know they were fake either.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're not actually Girl Scout cookies. They're.
Oh, you're recording on that microphone?
We're recording on straight off this
because we couldn't
iPad.
get the
What is
computer
that
to
ice cream? I'm a little jealous.
Here's a spoon. He brought you a
Oh,
spoon.
Mike brought me a spoon.
Yeah, he's a good guy.
When life gets tough, grab a spoon. Is that like I'm saying?
Well, my grandma always used to say, have an ice cream.
Oh, what kind of ice cream flavor is this?
It's probably from Ample Hills.
Wow.
Where is this from? Is it from Ample Hills?
Mm-hmm.
What is this? SLP's more ice cream, please.
Oh, yeah. What kind is it, Michael?
It's ooey gooey and cookies and cream.
Wow.
But you know I love chocolate milk and cookies.
No, but this is
I
probably
don't.
better.
Yes, you do.
I don't know anything about you.
You
I don't know whoever
that?
is listening, but this is the best ice cream ever.
Yeah, Ample Hills is the best. Actually, somebody on Instagram asked me my favorite ice cream.
Oh, wow.
And I said chocolate milk and cookies from
So that
Ample
brings
Hills.
us to our segment about listener questions.
Listener questions. Where's my phone?
I don't know.
Mike, did you get yourself ice cream, or is this for you to share too?
Yeah, you. Here.
Oh, yeah, I did.
Oh, you got
Oh, you
your
did.
own.
All right.
You got the phone.
Mike, do you have any questions for us since this is our question segment?
Yeah, do you think my brother Alex could benefit from speech therapy?
Is that the one who's on the spectrum?
No.
Oh.
It's the other one.
Yes,
Oh,
it is. It is the one on the spectrum.
Oh, okay. Then
Yes.
yes. How old is he? He's 21. He's older.
No, he's 27.
Okay, we could do some. They could do some
Kind of a
life.
lost cause.
No, it's not a lost cause.
See, that's what I keep telling all
it's
of them.
never a lost cause.
And I really think that he does require some like new stimulation.
Yes.
And like he needs to be able to advocate for himself a bit better. And
life skills and just
yeah.
there's always something to work on.
Right. He can't just stay home all the time.
Yeah.
So I think he should. So if you are a speech therapist in New Jersey, like Central Jersey-ish,
Okay.
please reach out to us. Or even if you're like a grad student and you want some experience, like an internship,
Wow.
I'll hook you up. Mike's mom
Yes.
is also, she's a special ed assistant teacher. No, she's a substitute teacher. So she will give you jobs. Like she will, like she'll put you to work with an individual who has communication needs. So let me know, and we will write your letters of recommendation for school. We will get whatever it is that you want.
Here, there goes the answering the question of how to apply to grad school.
Yeah, you want to apply if that's what you want to ask me about.
Did you see my new chair?
Oh, we're gonna new chair.
I didn't show it
No. I have some tips for just to give some time for Deborah. Some tips for applying to grad schools. Have a job, something like this, working with someone with special needs or in a nursing home. So fill your resume with that, and hopefully your essay will talk about that, and don't just do the whole like typical like I had challenges with it. No, talk about your internship. Talk about how you're gonna apply that to speech. Talk about how that changed how you view the field or something. Just talk about your experiences related to speech.
I will say one thing about the grad school essay, and then I'm done with grad school. Is that when I don't remember, I can't give you advice about what to write about, because even in the time that it took for me to get out of grad school and then get a job, while I was working in the high school and the students were working on their admissions essays, they're completely different than what I was told to write.
Right.
And completely different from what I wrote. So, for these reasons, I cannot give you that advice. But what I can give you the advice is that for each of my admissions essay that I ever wrote, I read them over and over and over again because I was so happy with it and I enjoyed listening to my writing.
That's a good
and
tip.
I was
That's
happy with what I wrote.
I liked mine too.
So, like, if you feel like you want to keep reading it over and over again and you like it, then you probably did a good job.
That's a really good tip.
Yeah.
We're so good at answering questions, I feel like.
So good. So
we're not even trying, and they're just happening.
Nailing it.
Nailing it.
Okay, so back on topic here.
Should we answer an actual question from Instagram? Or I feel like, is that enough questions?
I mean, I feel
Let's
like
get
we
like
answered.
a good one.
I'm on the live. Hold on the story. So
yeah, so we're
I'm
eating this
going
amazing
to-
ice cream. My favorite ice cream flavor is cookies and cream, if anyone wants to know. This ice cream is really good.
Okay, so how do you communicate and collaborate with classroom teachers?
Oh, okay. I could answer that one. When you're scheduling, that's the time to sit down with the teachers and be like, hey, what are you doing? What time are you doing this? And put it into your schedule. Mm-hmm.
I also like to just create a Google Doc for each.
I feel like all your questions,
Google Doc.
when you answer all your questions, you should just be like, I think you should create a Google Doc.
I know, I love Google Docs.
Go ahead.
So I create a Google Doc. So like what I do, so when I'm doing my schedule, then I also like group everybody who, I don't group kids who are in the same class, but they all the same grade I put together.
Okay.
But then on my paper, I group everybody who I have who's in the same class, and then I will share a Google Doc with the classroom teacher that has all of their specific students. I'm not going to give them my whole schedule.
Okay.
I'm just going to give them the students that they have in their class and when they have speech. And then I just share a Google Doc with them where I just keep notes. So they can check back in there and they can write me a note, or they could see what we worked on.
Okay.
So it's just, it's just shared with them.
Just sharing. I like
so
that
that they
idea
can look
too.
at it any time, because like my school, the teachers are so busy. Like
Right. Yeah.
everyone does always, if they want me, they make the time to find me, and then I just will see them whenever they want me to, because I'll just move whatever kid I was supposed to
I see. I gotcha.
or I'll just like cancel that session or just do something like it. So
Right.
everyone, they know where to find me, and they come find me. And usually they're like, when are you free? And I'm like, right now if you want.
Yeah.
But they're like so used to me, they're so used to having to schedule things.
I see.
That they're like, well, let me know as soon as you're available. I'm like,
That's probably better for
right
some people.
You
Aw, you're nice.
Yeah.
You're nice.
So yeah,
All right.
that's what I do for
I
that.
feel like we answered a lot of questions.
Yeah.
And let's talk about our Patreon. We got a lot of housekeeping stuff.
Right, so our Patreon. So Patreon is a platform where creators are able to get funding for their artistic endeavors that they choose to create. So our Patreon will be for our podcast. If you've been listening so far, this is our 18th episode.
Yep.
And we will continue to provide free content on iTunes. But what we're also now going to add to our model is some content that is behind a paywall. So when you go to, once we set up our Patreon, the link will be in our bio on our Instagram.
Mm-hmm.
And there you will find a variety of options where you can choose to make a monthly pledge of $1, $2, $5, $10, $15, $20, and so on. And each level will provide you with a certain amount of rewards. And on that Patreon page, there will also be free content. So you can go there monthly to get your free download. And individuals who are going to be a patron for $1 will also get an additional digital download. And then individuals who are a patron for $2 will get a 30-minute podcast episode, I think. And then patrons who are $5 will get the podcast episode as well as video content.
Mm-hmm.
And then $10 will get, we're going to figure that out. We didn't get that
Yeah,
far
we
yet.
didn't get that far. But what I could say is I feel like we have some episodes that we've recorded already, and they're like so fun
I
and
know,
funny.
they're really funny.
And we're just like, done
we're hanging
with
here.
drinking our wine at the after hours.
So we have
time.
several after-hour episodes, which you definitely heard some of if you were listening this summer while we were on our hiatus, that we had all pre-recorded episodes. So all of the episodes that we record after we record our main episode will be available on our Patreon.
Right.
I mean, we definitely have some cocktails extra in those. So
It might not always be about speech.
yes, they're not
You know.
going to. So the episodes on our iTunes are going to be all about speech. We're going to maintain that, but on the Patreon, we will deviate from that topic.
Yeah. So is it like no topic off? Is
I like to always have a topic.
Well, no, I mean there's nothing that we're not gonna not talk
off
about.
limits?
Yeah, like
I'm sure there's things I
I'm
don't want
sure.
to talk about.
Yes, but you know what I mean. For the most.
No
of the-
topic is off limits.
Right. Yes. I feel like
Maybe.
that's exciting though.
Okay, sure.
Maybe that should be the $20.
Okay.
Whatever you want us to talk about.
We just become like webcam girls. No.
All right.
But yeah, so we would really appreciate your patronage. So basically, we've been just doing all of this self-funded up to this point. Maria's been driving to Brooklyn constantly. Her
From
Easy
Staten
Pass
Island.
bill is off the chain.
And my gas, I'm like, I'm hurting the earth.
And then we also, buying the wine and the cheese weekly, but then also scheduling this in our lives.
Yeah.
All together.
But we love it. We do love it.
And we will continue to do it for free. But also, at the same time, if you feel like you've gained anything from this podcast, and if you feel like we've helped you in any way, we would certainly appreciate any sort of contribution that you can make. Our goal is to get 100 people to donate $1 a month.
Yeah.
So help us reach our goal by pledging at least $1, and we will be on our way to our goal.
$1.99
For 1 month of wonderful content.
Yes.
Okay,
All right.
so now going back to our topic of scheduling.
Yeah, so let's go back.
So there are many things that we can use to help us schedule. Like we have calendars, like we said, we have paper calendars, we have Google Docs, and then we have digital apps that can help us.
Right.
And then, in addition to that, we can use, so I use 2 different websites. I use You Can Book Me, where people can sign up to have sessions with me. And then I use SLP Toolkit, which I import my schedule into, and then it gives me like a daily data reminder. So it's like, this is a pre-scheduled session. Did you see this child?
Oh,
if you did, you can take data, and like a little box opens up. So that's how I'm staying on track. I'm also maintaining a routine within my speech therapy session so that I'm able to ensure that I know what's coming next, as well as my students. And then I also am sure to keep track of any obligations or responsibilities that I have in terms of work. And then I also want to make time for my own free time.
Right. So you want to talk about scheduling your life? Or should I talk about how I schedule all that? Because I feel like you definitely talk about it. I don't know. I feel like mine's not that as scheduled. So like my weekly schedule, which is the student days times groups. I try to go according to their classroom schedule, if we're speaking now in a school. So that's why I have those meetings with the teachers, but that also helps us to plan. And we could have a whole episode about planning. So I want to just stick to the scheduling part. And then of course you have to make sure you're not coinciding with the related service. So it really depends on the setting. So I'm speaking to my setting where my students have other services, so OT, PT, whatever, ESL, like there's a whole list. So I want to make sure there's no gaps or any of that. So after I've done that on my Excel, and I have all the information on the other side, the right hand side of the document, so I have just one main document. And then my daily schedule, I just kind of follow it based off that schedule I just made. And I leave like my paperwork stuff at the end of the day. And then usually I have like some type of break middle of the day, right after lunch or before lunch. Then you make your session schedule. That I just kind of make once I've already started, after I've assessed the students and kind of see where I want to go with them based off their goals also. And I'm currently making the transition to having it online, like on, taking like no more paper notes.
Okay.
I will let you know how that goes. And when I have IEP meetings, I just put them into my calendar, and I'm like, have a calendar out, and I'm always looking at it every day.
Yeah,
and
so you just stay on it, right?
I just stay on the calendar. I'm like,
so then,
always
did
on
you
it.
plan what you're doing for the school year?
Not quite yet,
Okay, so
I've only had like 3 or 4 school days yet.
Here I am. I'm gonna try to get you to plan almost your whole school year.
Oh,
this
right
is my
now?
plan. Hold on. What do you need paper
Oh,
for?
okay, because we still want to talk about our scheduling our lives.
Oh. Okay.
You know what I
scheduling
mean?
Lives.
Unless you want to make this a 2-part episode. Because we're...
Yeah, let's get past... Well, we don't have to schedule our lives right now. Let's talk about speech. So, Okay, so I think that basically
you
can eat ice cream.
Oh my gosh, this ice cream is so good.
If you just make
I'm
a list,
shocked.
1 through 40. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, you need ample hills. 5, 6, 7, 8,
I gotta
9,
Google this
10,
right now.
11, 12.
I don't know
13,
what Deborah is
14,
writing.
15,
right
16,
there.
17, 18. I'm
She's
just making a
1
list
to 40.
To 40. 19.
Is that like 40 sessions a week?
22.
Or
23. No, I think there's like 40 Wednesdays in the school year.
40 Wednesdays?
And that's the middle of the week, so it's like
Oh, a good time to switch it up or continue.
Well, no, I still start on Mondays, but it
Oh,
gives you
okay.
a nice count of how many weeks there are.
Oh, okay.
33, 34, 35,
She's writing all this stuff.
36, 37, 38, 39, 40. Okay, so
Okay.
now tell me a theme.
Ice cream.
Ice cream. Tell me another theme.
Numbers. I'm
Numbers.
just looking at things in the room.
Tell me another theme.
Food.
Okay, food's
That
pretty
goes
broad.
beverages. Okay, I was gonna say wine, but that
now
wouldn't be a
I'm
good
going
topic.
I'm going to change this a bit. Now I'm going to put so we did ice cream numbers. 1 and 2 is ice cream and then numbers. Now 3 I'm going to put A, 4 I'm going to put B, C, D, E, F, G, and so on. Now tell me
Okay.
a theme that begins with A.
Oh, okay. Alphabet.
Boring. What else?
Animals.
No, too broad.
Too broad. Amphibians.
Okay, amphibians.
Because those are animals.
Okay, and then B.
Bee butterflies.
Butterflies.
I'm just picking all animals right now.
Okay, well, let's deviate from animals because you don't want
Right,
all
yeah,
of
I
your
don't want
sessions
all-
to be about
yeah, I
animals.
don't.
So, number 5 is C.
Would colors be too broad?
I would pick
or-
a color, so no, I
Okay.
wouldn't do colors. So
Okay.
what's something else that's C?
Community helpers. It's one of my
Okay,
favorite
community
topics.
helpers.
Yeah. Everything could be community helper.
Okay. 6D.
D. I would say dinosaurs because that's such a good one.
Dinosaur.
But
7E.
E. Earth.
Earth.
Yeah.
8F.
I'm thinking finances, but that probably, but
No.
that would be like money, but fun.
No.
How about
that's just-
fun?
I picked fire.
Fire. Okay.
Fire. What is fire? You know, you can do lots of fire.
Right. Okay.
9G.
Well, fire goes with community helpers, so that I
Yeah, but you can
things
also
to
talk
tie
about like
into-
what actually is fire. Like fire
Right.
is an element. It's something that's hot. It's used for cooking things. When was it first discovered? How do humans depend on it? How has
Right.
it progressed over time? You know.
Yes.
So next G.
G. I'm always thinking of animals, so I'm trying to stray away from that. So gold.
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 H.
H. Helium. Start naming elements. H. Humming.
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 Yeah.
I put horses.
Oh, okay. I'm trying to not do animals
Okay.
again. Humming.
I.
Igloos.
Igloos. I put ice cream, but you already said ice cream.
Right, I said ice cream.
J.
J. Jobs.
Jobs.
Yeah.
Well, you did community helpers, but
Yeah.
that's fine. K.
K. Kites.
Kites. Okay. L.
L.
I put lollipops.
Lollipops. That's all right.
You can talk about like who invented the lollipop.
Right for the older kids. Yeah, lollipops. Yeah. why not?
Anybody, young kids too,
Yeah.
can do lollipop.
Well, I'm just thinking like
you
how
say
would
lollipop. You could say lion wants lollipop
Right.
for articulation. You could
Okay.
say like what kind of all the flavors of lollipop.
Right.
You could color lollipop.
describe them.
Describe them.
Sure, I'm sure there's a ton of stories out there about
Yeah.
lollipops.
Number
Okay.
15 M.
Are we going through all these numbers?
Yeah,
'Cause I'm
hurry up.
like,
Let's
feel
go.
like we're gonna run out of
Well,
time.
then do it faster. M.
Okay. Maria.
No.
Mickey Mouse.
Mickey Mouse. Okay. N.
Noses.
Noses. O.
Ostriches. Because I don't care now
Ostriches.
about picking
P.
animals. Pianos.
I did pianos too.
Yay!
Okay. PQ.
Q. Queens.
R.
I don't want to say rats, so races.
I put rainbow.
Okay.
Races. S.
S. Sticks.
Sticks.
Yep.
I would have probably saved that for ST.
Oh, well.
T.
T. Toes.
Toes. U.
U. Umbrellas.
Umbrellas. Okay. V.
V. Violins.
Violins.
Going with my
W.
pianos. Windows.
Window. X.
X-rays.
Yeah, I did that too.
Yeah.
Y.
Y. Yeah. Yarn. Yarn.
I
Yeah,
get
we can make
yellow.
stuff out of yarn.
Z.
And I don't want to pick the obvious answer of zebra, so I will pick
Why? Zebras are great.
Z. All right, fine.
You know that their
Too
skin
easy.
is striped, not their hair.
No.
Okay, so now pH.
pH fat. Phonics.
Phonics. I did photography.
Okay.
SH.
Shoes.
Shoes. BL.
BL. Blinders. Yeah.
You're gonna do a whole week of speech therapy on blinders.
Yeah. I'll call it a challenge. Like this thing that's happening right now. Is
Okay, you're gonna put
quite a
blinders. So you have to
challenge.
walk around blind. Okay, PL.
Yeah. PL. Playing.
Plays.
Do a whole plays.
Please. FL.
FL. Flavors.
Oh,
Yeah.
I like that.
Thank you.
That's great. Okay, SL.
SL. Sleeping.
Sleeping, that's important. And you
Yes.
can talk about the different stages of sleep.
Oh yeah, and dreams.
And, yeah, dreams,
all
wonderful.
that. Is there a DR? Because I can
So
use
we can
dreams.
do DR. We'll do that the
Dreams.
next week.
I like my
Okay,
lessons to
DR.
kind of like go one with the other. You know what I
Right.
mean?
BR.
So then I would do what goes with dreams and sleeping with BR. Bruising.
Brain.
Brain, yeah. What made me say bruising? You know, fall off the bed.
TR.
TR. Tracks.
Tracks.
Yeah.
Or trains.
Yeah, or tracks or trains, Thomas.
Okay, and now there's 3 left, so how about you just
Three
pick
left.
3 themes that you
3
just
themes
like?
I didn't get to talk about would be bruising. I'm just kidding.
You want to talk about bruising?
Yeah, why not? Bruise,
Okay,
you know,
bruises.
bruises. How
2
about
more.
like jewelry?
Jewelry, and
Yeah.
then one more.
How about I can't use like problem solving, right? No, it has to be like an actual thing.
Yeah, just pick a
Lights.
lights.
Yeah.
That's great. Okay,
Yeah, thank
great.
you.
So now your themes are for 40 weeks of school. The first week you would do ice cream, then numbers, then amphibians, butterflies, community helpers, dinosaurs, earth, fire, gold, humming, igloo, jobs, kites, lollipop, Mickey Mouse noses, ostrich, piano, queens, races, sticks, toes, umbrella, violins, window, X-ray, yarn, zebra, phonics, shoes, blinders, plays, flavors, sleeping, dreams, brains, tracks and trains, bruises, jewelry, and lights. So those would be your themes each week. Now, if you broke that into each session, so what would you do for ice cream? You would probably
Okay.
read a. We'll figure it out. Don't worry
I
about
don't
it.
know.
You would probably read a.
I would definitely do like stories.
You would want like a nonfiction text about
Right.
the topic.
Mhm.
Right? So, like, what is ice cream? How is it made? Where
Right.
was it invented? What are the ingredients?
Yeah.
What are the alternatives for people who don't eat dairy?
Oh right, yeah, that's
2.
good.
And then a fiction test. A fiction text.
yeah.
One day, Maria went to Ample Hills, and then she got some ice cream.
And
she had a hard time choosing.
She got all the ice creams.
Good.
Yes.
Okay, so now 3 would be maybe it would be like writing about your favorite.
Yeah, definitely like writing
Write
either
about topic.
Yeah, or writing based off this fiction and then writing about the nonfiction stories.
Right, and then you're going to
So,
compare your contract. Your
and then
compare and contrast.
contrast.
So, like, what's the same between ice cream and yogurt? What's
Right.
the same between ice cream and Italian ice? How are they
Mhm.
different? Okay, so for each theme, you'll have a nonfiction text, a fiction text. You're going to write about the topic. You're going to compare and contrast the topic.
Uh-huh.
And then you're going to maybe draw the topic.
Yeah, draw something about it.
Draw
or I was
it,
thinking like
Or craft of some
ask your friends questions about it. Some type
yes.
of like question for the group sessions, a question and answer.
Q&A about topic.
Yeah, so like you could even do Q&A about the fiction, Q&A about the nonfiction, Q&A about compare and contrast, Q&A about like before you even start reading, what's your favorite type of ice cream? What's
Yeah.
stuff like that. So like even before you get into the reading, just like what is that? Like an introduction to the topic. So Q&A is just like a skill we're always working on.
Right, yes. And then a craft. So what could be a craft about ice cream?
Oh, I'm gonna have to Google that.
But you can also make ice cream.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to Google which one, but
Yeah, like
I'm guess
for
using like a plate as like the cone, and then like some
or you can
puffing
actually
thing.
make ice cream.
Oh,
you
that's
just
intense.
shake it in a bag. I made it in camp once.
That's intense. But yeah.
But yeah, you could.
I would find that online somewhere.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So if in every session you just had a theme, so we just came up with 40 themes off the top of our head, and then for every session you had prepared, or for every week, a nonfiction, a fiction, write about the topic, compare and contrast the topic, draw the topic, or do a craft about the topic, and then ask and answer questions about the topic.
Yeah.
Then you just planned your whole school year. Like we
Right.
just planned, if you use this, which these papers that we created will be on our Patreon, so it'll be our 40 weeks planned.
Right. That's a lot. We did a lot.
We just did it. It's all
Yeah,
planned.
I know.
It's right here.
Right. I get it.
So that'll be on our Patreon, and if you want to do that, you can do that too. I did a different list. I'm not going to read it because it's just, it'll be on the Patreon, so you can find it there.
Exactly.
So a lot of what we talked about, we don't know how much time we
Yeah, we don't know. But I feel like we should, because we're like almost done here, we should go into tips and tricks, and then we could even just extend this episode.
Yeah, we could. So the
maybe we could have like a balancing life and scheduling, like if we wanted to touch upon like,
I
how
don't
to
really
balance,
struggle
like,
to balance. I
Okay.
don't feel like I do at all. Because, like, I always just do whatever I want to do, and also I do whatever I have to do.
Yeah.
So I have to do the notes. I have to see the
Right,
kids. But
yeah.
if I want to go out, like, I'm gonna go out.
Right.
So I
agree.
just do everything I want to and have to do.
I know, but I don't know why other people. I mean, I guess in terms of like balance, I think I balance, but sometimes I'm just tired. Like,
Right,
I
yeah.
did too much of this, so then maybe technically I didn't balance it that well because I'm tired.
But I think if you don't take the time to plan and schedule, like how I'm explaining this, like I can be out all night and go to work the next day and I'm already prepared.
Right,
I already
that's
know
good,
everything that we're going to do.
Good.
Because I planned it
Right.
a long
Yeah.
time ago.
So probably pre-planning is a good tip then.
That's
so,
how you balance your life. My tip
pre-plan
is
everything.
to plan everything. You should just make a list of 1 through 40 and come up with 43 themes, and then just assign those to the weeks in the school year, and then come up with a fiction, nonfiction, a fiction text, a nonfiction text, write about the topic, compare and contrast, draw or craft, and a Q&A. And then you're set.
Or you could even throw in doing the skits or like games related to it.
Yeah,
Remember
games
we have-
related to it,
Yeah.
everything. Just as long as you have that topic, then you just pick those little things in between and you're good. It's just already done for you.
Great. All right. My tip or trick was not that. So
What was yours?
it was because we were talking about scheduling. So I think a good tip or trick is to take a student that you find has a lot of sensory seeking behaviors. I would try to take him after he or she receives OT. And if he doesn't receive
that's a good
OT,
idea.
try to do some type of, like, take him maybe after gym or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
So I feel like I've had a lot of success with that tip. So I have those students that I'm like, okay, and then I'll consult with the OT. When do you have him or her? And I try to do that.
That's great.
Yeah, that's my tip or trick.
And what's our
we have our
quote?
quote. We have a really good quote. And it is, if you're not helping to make it right, then stop complaining about it being wrong.
Yes.
And
I
this
love
is
that.
Sherry Clayton. She has her own blog and she gives us some good quotes. But I like this quote. So I think relating to scheduling. I do it too, so I'm not saying I'm perfect. We're gonna complain and we're gonna be like, oh, I gotta do this and all that. And just complaining is really not gonna change much. So just try to stop complaining and think about ways to fix it and just get or get it done. Sometimes it's like, if I just didn't complain and just use that time to actually do the task, I would have been done by now.
Exactly.
So just do it.
I agree with that, and I always think that you need to either break the cycle or you embrace the cycle. So if something's bothering you, then you are required to change it.
Right.
If you choose not to change it, then nothing will change. So you have to embrace that new thing as the reality. So either you're going to be bothered by something and change it so it's different. But if you choose not to change it, then you better embrace that as your new reality because
Right.
nothing else will change.
Yes.
So you
I
either
like that.
break the cycle or you embrace the cycle.
I like that one too.
Yeah.
All right, we got two quotes.
Yeah.
All right, on that note, good night, everyone.
This has been SLP's Wine and Cheese. I'm Deb.
Maria.
See ya.
Good night.
Adios.
This ice cream was great.